Today we're here at the New Muslim Project retreat in Markfield, and I'm joined by our special guest, Mary Batool al Toma. Can I ask you, Mary, what is this? What's going on?
The New Muslim Project retreat, Ramadan retreat, is something that we hold every Ramadan, every year. We've been doing it for, I don't know, I can't actually remember. There are children here who are in their late teens now who were coming when they were babies. So it's been going on quite a long time. And it's a weekend, a spiritual, educational, practical weekend, mostly spiritually oriented, for converts to Islam to come together and spend a weekend in prayer, fasting, and sort of congregation with each other.
Now, for those who don't know, you're very prominent in terms of the work which you do with those who converted to Islam, and you have been for many decades here in the UK. Has that got anything to do with the fact that you converted to Islam also?
I wish you didn't say it like that, Adam. Many decades makes me sound very old. Yes, I mean, I'm a convert to Islam myself. I converted to Islam in Ireland, in Dublin, back in the late 70s, when Dublin had very little to offer Muslims at that time. We had no halal meat, we had no mosque that you could speak of really. We had just a Muslim house where we met, 7 Harrington Street it was, next to the Garda Club. So we used to meet there on a Friday evening, and it was used as a mosque, and we would be having our special spiritual discussions accompanied by the thump of the disco going next door in the Garda Centre.
Back to this place itself, because this is where you're based now,
Yes.
Markfield in Leicestershire.
Yeah.
How long have you been in Leicestershire, and how did that move come about?
I've been in Leicester since I left university in Wales. I studied Islamic studies and comparative religions there from 1989 to 1992, and then I came here to Leicester in 1993, I think, towards the end, and I've been here since then. Leicester is my home. I love Leicester dearly. I don't live in the city anymore. I live in the village here in Markfield, which is a lovely, quiet, friendly village, and of course it's near to where I work. So I can walk here, I can ride a bike here, I can drive here, and I'm here in a few minutes. Do
you have any favourite places around Leicestershire in general?
I do. My favourite places, particularly around Markfield here, is Thornton Reservoir, which I go there frequently to walk. It's a 1-hour walk. In fact, I'm taking all my Ramadan retreat group there tomorrow morning from 8:45 to 10:15, so that they can enjoy the great outdoors and just, chat to each other and create those lovely friendships and relationships that you need to when you come to an event like this. And also I love Bradgate Park, which is a beautiful National Trust park of about 1,000 acre, which is just at the other end of my village. Wow. So my kids have grown up there, and we've climbed and we've walked and we've paddled in pools and did all sorts of things there, and it's a beautiful place.
So when people are benefiting from the work which you do, one example is the Meeting Point magazine, which is distributed internationally.
Yes.
I'm a subscriber myself. I even receive a copy of the Meeting Point. I think it was founded back in the 1980s. It
was actually the first issue of the first Meeting Point was produced by after a meeting of a group of personalities, very strong personalities from the convert community back in the 80s, and out of those meetings came a little newsletter, which was just sort of an A3 size, folded over, about the meeting itself and the progress and what conclusions they came to. And they called it Meeting Point, as in that we all meet at that point when we direct ourselves to the Kaaba in Mecca. So that is what Meeting Point is about. We all meet when we direct ourselves in our prayer, in our thoughts, in our dhikr and everything to that meeting point in Mecca, to the Kaaba in Mecca. The Islamic Foundation here is set sort of out in the countryside, 10 miles outside Leicester, and it's known pretty well all over the country. We often have people who contact us who want to get married and who have difficulties, let's say. They've gone to the mosque are not entirely happy with the way they've conducted their relationship and so on, and are not particularly happy about getting involved in performing a nikah. My take on that is that we have to protect people, and we have to try and keep them within the Islamic framework as much as possible. And so I've come up with my own sort of marriage ceremony, which takes consideration of that. And we have prayers that the bride and groom recite for each other, and that the congregation recite for them, and all sorts of nice little additions. And there's nothing wrong with that, because we all come from different cultural backgrounds, and while there is a procedure when it comes to the actual marriage itself, there's nothing to say that you can't add in certain things that make it more comfortable for the people who are attending that.
So altogether, you're helping people get married, you're helping people stay married.
Yes.
If they decide that's not the best thing for them, you're helping them part in the best way possible.
Absolutely.
You're helping converts up and down the country and all around the world. You're helping people left, right and centre. Where do you get the energy to do it from?
Where do I get the energy? I don't know really. I never really think about that. It's not something
Too
that
busy.
yeah, exactly, too busy. I have to say that my husband was a great source of energy for me when he was alive, and Allah yarhamu, he was incredibly encouraging, and he never allowed me to stay at home or to sit at home when there was something that he thought I could do outside to help other people. And I have to say that when I hear people talking about having a husband's permission to do this and permission to do that, it's not something I've ever been accustomed to be honest, because my husband was just he just encouraged that kind of work and that kind of service for the good of humanity all the time. The nice thing was that he was always there when I came back home, and that's what I miss now.